so I'm guessing we're calling it here then, guys?
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
that.
So in case of everything today, did we do anything that you had planned, or was this completely off the rails?
Do you want to know what my entire notes for this session were?
Yeah.
Sure. Because I just want to know how close we stayed to what your notes were, or just whether or not
Okay.
we did whatever.
I had a general thing in mind for where I wanted the story to go, but my entire notes for the session were D&D Session 3 game plan. A couple days pass and the party starts to get settled in. 3 notices appear on the quest board. 1, 2, and 3. The end.
We
So,
stayed on
like,
track.
all these plot
So-
developments were, like, off the rails.
No, I
So
mean,
we just came up with
had-
a random story off the top of our heads.
I pretty much had this in line. Most of the stuff with the kid I expected. I did not expect you to try to take it off. Not gonna tell you what happens from that, because that's...
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Did not expect that to happen. But hey, you advanced that plot faster than I had anticipated because of that detect thought spell. And one particularly bad roll at the wrong time by whatever I want to call whoever rolled.
The wizard that got his ass kicked by a child? Yes.
Well, no, my roll to try to avoid it, the one that failed, where you got the big information.
Oh, with us? That one?
Yeah. Because it kind of feels like we kind of know what most of the deal is at this point.
The kid was used for some sort of, for obviously gambling and cheating, but at the same time we don't know.
Yeah,
Other
we don't know
anything other
what
than
he
that.
is or what, like,
If
the
you want
big
to think
reveal
that,
is
you're
about.
certainly entitled to think that.
We don't know if it was the kid that was
Yeah.
though. We're making a guess. Like, we're literally being like, the kid was there every time this happened, so it must have been the kid. And it's like, it may not be correlated at
Yeah.
all. Like,
It may
there's
not be,
multiple of
but would
him
make a
and
lot of
she could
sense.
she could literally have a something on her that allows her to cheat. She could literally have just the best skill at cheating at these things, or she's just skilled at these things, or she has a supernatural luck.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many factors.
Even if this, like...
She could be a 120 rogue with, like, ridiculous sleight of hand rolls.
Yeah,
we
if
don't
this isn't, like, what actually is, the fact that it's, like, it's going down like this, I feel like makes it, probably the best theory we have so far.
I just
Yeah.
find it interesting that we keep judging this, and it reminds me of, like, a lot of, like, the real life stuff. So people will see a situation, judge it, and not know, like, whatsoever what's going on. Like, if they see a parent yelling at a kid, they're like, and the way they're yelling, they're like, that's abusive. And it's like, maybe that's the only way the kid actually listens.
You know what this is? This is becoming Phoenix right now.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, this session didn't have any fights, but again, that's 2 out of 3 sessions that haven't had any fights. But we managed to get a lot of good role playing in.
Yeah.
I mean, people took damage, so I mean, maybe they were fighting.
Yep.
It was a psychic fight.
A battle of the minds.
Yep.
It was a
I
word
lost family.
fight.
I just got hit by
I'm
4.
still not sure how major I want this plot to be with the kid. Like-
Yeah, that's what I mean. I've been thinking that myself and going, is this any sort of like major plot point, or are we just so focused on this kid and we don't even need to be?
I have a lot of ideas for what could be major plots, and I'm letting a lot of them play out. Well,
Yeah.
not a lot of. Really, we've only been to one of the major moments so
Really,
far,
the
but-
major plot could be any direction we steer this in.
Major plot point is sending this kid to hell.
That's kind of the open world of the open world game. And I'll go with what you guys like to actually make with the major plots.
Like,
if I see you guys trying to figure this out a lot, I'm going to play up the kid angle.
Yeah, alright.
Kind of
Makes
thing.
sense.
Like, that's what I'm trying to go with. Obviously, I'm not going to get that right 100% of the time. But I feel it makes for a little bit of a better game where it's sort of a choose your own adventure.
fight.
Yeah.
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 Like, I've
Where-
heard games where it's like, the party just becomes evil and, like, the story
over the
becomes...
world.
Yeah, the story becomes the DM, like, sending heroes to stop them and stuff like that,
Actually, that would be pretty interesting. I don't even know if you could get away with doing something like that in D&D, can you?
You
You
can,
can
but
do it.
probably not with this party.
We could make a high-level evil campaign where your goal is to set up and recruit like an army of darkness, and heroes come to stop you. And it's up to how good you set your traps and all that to see if you
Yeah,
win or
just
not.
gotta work our way through the Empire. Like, we could join the Marlians
Hey,
if
after
we
this
wanted.
campaign, I wouldn't mind trying that. Typically, I'm
Or
always on the good side, so
Malians.
why not?
Marlians? Yeah, Marlians.
Malari.
Alright, Malarians.
No, it's
Yeah.
just Malari.
Yeah, if we really want to, we could probably, like, join them or something.
I love that you're assuming they're evil. Just because the one guy is an asshole.
That's also what I've been trying to say. Like, we're making all these assumptions with no facts, and my guy's like, "Look, like, we don't know anything about this kid, and we're sticking our neck out for somebody. This doesn't seem right. Like, it doesn't make any sense that we stick our neck out more than we need to for a kid we just met, for people we just met too. Like, we're adventurers
Yeah.
going like, there's a big plot, and it's like, the big plot could be literally like nothing.
Meanwhile, Jean's off to the side like, no, if anything happens to this precious cinnamon roll, I'm killing everyone as myself.
Now, I should also point out, while we were at
love
the
the
library, we didn't
police
look up one other thing.
Oh, what were we looking up?
Like, when we went to the library originally, because Death here wanted to look up the leader of the Malara Republic, but no one thought to look up Niccolo in the library. To see who he is outside of just being a council member. And see what kind of relation goes between him, Taiki, and maybe possibly the child.
And you also could have, because the kid did say he sort of knew him.
Exactly.
You could have
Yeah.
dove deeper.
We could have dove deeper on,
I
like, a
couldn't
lot of
remember
stuff.
if I was... Actually, I don't know if... I can't remember if I did, but I can't remember also if I was low on HP, and that's why I chose not to.
Yeah. Like, while I'm playing, I'm, like, trying to think of,
Or
like...
he might have succeeded in his check. I don't remember.
Or
But
that.
again, you did recall that the only times you actually got damaged while digging deeper
Was
were
the end.
specifically when you mentioned the amulet. Which, I completely bullshitted that, and I turned that into...
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm gonna make
You're
this...
trying not to make us find out.
Huh?
Is that my bullshitting? Like, you're trying to make us not find out, like, ignore the amulet, focus on something?
No. Like, the whole, you only get damage when you mention the amulet. I'm like, when you first asked, I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do anything when he dives to you. I'm like, ooh, maybe
Yeah.
only on this. I kind of pulled that out of my ass during that.
Oh, okay, that's what you mean.
Yeah, that was a
I thought-
good call,
I thought
honestly.
that made for a good, like, hook for it. Obviously, no one likes taking damage, but I thought that made it have
Yeah.
stakes. Other than just, here's
You
a
just
question,
take
here's a
random.
question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a long rest. Here's a question, here's a question. I'm gonna take a long rest.
Yeah, there's like a
Yeah.
danger to it. There's like a risk there.
So I predict this adventure is going to end up with Corin and Charles in asylums, Charles terrified of sharks, and Corin of jewelry.
Pretty much.
Corin's like
I-
afraid of children. He just sees a
Afraid
kid on
of
the
children, I'm
street and
afraid
he's
of
just
even
backing away
thinking about
slowly.
things and trying to figure what people are thinking. I'm terrified of everyone around me. Sitting there in the straitjacket.
You're just like, no, the kids are thinking mean thoughts.
And now you guys have the names, at least, of 3 of the 4 council members.
3?
Yep. One of the notes mentioned a 3rd one. With a stupid, ridiculous gnome name that I mentioned.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Goggles God my
I
God.
actually didn't know that he was a counselor. I couldn't remember.
Yep.
Yeah,
He
you're gonna have to
did-
write that down. I have no idea how to spell
I
that.
thought he was mentioned earlier.
No, he was, but I couldn't remember if he was a council member or not.
I thought he was mentioned as a council member earlier when we were talking about the Adventure Guild.
After the session. We talked about it after the session.
There's only one solution to this problem. We have to learn how to cheat at darts.
What?
Well, I don't think you need to. You beat me in darts already.
Yeah.
Gotta learn how to
Be
cheat
fine.
at cards.
Considering you were shit-faced drunk and still beat my ass.
It's to actually throw a dart and not a playing card.
Yeah.
We need to
Or
cheat the
I think The only
dice.
way I can win is if I throw my playing cards.
Yeah.
I should make that a thing. I can only play darts well if I throw playing cards instead of an actual dart.
Just become
I think that would
Gambit.
make a very interesting random thing to my character. Like, what the fuck?
Huh,
I mean, if you want to flavor your,
Yeah, that's why I'm setting people's drinks on fire randomly, so I may as well just add that.
if you want to flavor your firebolts that way, like you're setting your card ablaze and throwing it at somebody.
Oh, that'd be
And-
cool.
One, I think one, that would be a waste of cards. Two, eventually I'm gonna run out of cards.
How many cards do you need to throw every
I think I
day?
can only throw 52.
How many firebolts have you thrown this in a month?
I
though?
have no idea.
I think I've
I
thrown
have
like
no idea.
5
I could
total.
cards.
10 firebolts in a month.
Yeah, it's
So
like a
far, I
fifth of
think
a
it's been
deck.
probably 10. So if I
Is it?
average 10 a month, I can get about almost half a year without having to buy a new card deck. Also,
And-
can you
and
quickly write out that gnome's name for me so I can just copy and paste it?
How do you not know how to spell Cockles Gog Bagog? It's such a common name.
Oh,
In
now
fact, I'll type it out without copy pasting.
I could try to spell it, but I'm afraid of what's gonna look like.
So, is that the appropriate spelling? 'Cause, like, it just sounds like one whole jumble. They're like,
Did I spell it right?
Hold on, let me look.
Even he doesn't know the spelling off the top of his head.
You are one letter off.
Which letter am I off?
The A, I believe, because it's spelled like this.
Perfect. Thank you.
Like, seriously, how do you not know how to spell that name? It's such a common name.
Clearly.
I had
Yeah.
3 of them in my elementary school class.
You know what's
God.
uncommon? Benny.
Yeah, who the names a kid Benny? Humans with their weird names.
Oh, you mean
Like
tiefling?
Sean. Yeah. He probably had a human parent. Who would have named him?
Now I'm imagining the drunken dart games being foreshadowing to the conclusion of the Mallow Republic plot.
In order to claim victory, we have to settle this with a dart game.
It's time to get good at darts, guys.
I was kind of happy with myself, and I love tooting my own horn. Who am I lying? What am I kidding? But when you failed those rolls with the Arcana, I'm like, you know what? They're really going into this. I'm gonna kind of feed them a little bit of hints in the wrong answers.
In the wrong answer.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
the amulet of whatever and the plane shift amulet.
Yeah, and I went on about this whole freaky plot line.
But it led you on a track that got you the right answer. Well, not necessarily the right answer, but you got an important piece of information out of it
That is true.
because of figuring that out. So yeah, even when you fail a roll, keep in mind what information I give you. It might be important. It might also just me being bullshitting and not knowing what I'm doing.
That's kind of what I assume it is all the time.
Usually, yes. Again, you heard the exact verbatim of my notes for this section,
I've just learned to accept that most of the stuff is now, in fact,
and
Meh.
I turned that into 4 hours.
Yeah.
Right? You guys mostly turned that into 4 hours with excellent
Yes.
RP, which
You
is why I
look-
gave you guys inspiration.
You look at the ground in front of you. There are infinite railways in all directions. You can go anywhere and be off the rails.
But yeah, I mean, I'm glad everybody got a chance to advance their own personal story a little bit. Cookie got his sword back.
yeah, I have to actually find information about that still.
Yeah. Baron got his to meet his cloister and learn about his rival being here.
Jean finally revealed his backstory.
Are we
Yeah.
linked to Pokemon to Baron and he's got to catch
And
us
he
all?
also got to see a dinosaur and draw in his book and didn't fail the nature check.
I think that's the biggest improvement in this entire game. He did not fail a nature check.
He just rolls in that one, just trips into its mouth.
Gets eaten alive.
By an herbivore.
Yeah. It's a really impressive feat, actually.
Hey, you never know. It could be opposites in this fantasy world. The herbivores that we know could actually be the carnivores.
You see a deer
be
and his
fair, he did see
wire
it
razor
eating
sharp
some
wolf
Omnivores,
teeth.
then.
Omnivore is a possibility.
Just look over, there's like a wolf ink from like a bush.
Walking on two legs and eating from a bush. Totally.
Totally something you see every day.
Just the murder bunnies.
God, the killer.
Any other questions
someone
about anything, guys?
I think I'm good.
I'm content. As long as
Yeah.
next session I don't get beat up by a child again.
No,
That's
I'll
up
beat
to
you
you.
up. I'll get charmed to beat you
100%.
up.
That was up to you. I mean, if you want to get beat up by a child again,
No, thank you.
that's totally something that we can do. I mean, you got 4 blank floors in that building. We can set up a fight pit in the bottom floor.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for, like, at the end, a key part of the whole story is going to be me being like, great, I have to detect thoughts on another kid. Oh, good God, PTSD in a nutshell.
You're just locked in a
All of the
room with a
beds are children.
child, and the only way out is to read their mind, and you're like too scared to do it.
To be fair, most
Yeah.
children don't have crazy magic amulets that
That is
radiate blank magic energy from it.
Now everyone hyper-examine the footage to find out what that syllable was.
What? Are you saying like zoom and enhance to hear what I said?
Zoom in, enhance, slow down.
I literally said just blank though. So.
Yeah.
Blank. I think he said
Blank illusion. Blank. No.
You just like zoom in, you like enhance, it's like demonic ink.
But yes, much like a fruitcake doesn't, radiate any fruit. This thing doesn't radiate any specific magic energy. You just know it's got magic in it.
Who knows? It might not be the amulet, it might just be the gems themselves.
You think it has magic in it. That's also a possibility.
An illusion.
Is the amulet even there?
Well,
Yeah, for
illusion
all we
magic,
know,
you'd be
this
able to
thing's
tell.
like there to suppress the kid and nothing else.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about the Gambit. The plot hook here is that it could be the thing is there to keep him in check. It's to keep him hidden. It is to hide
Destroying the world.
an illicit love affair. To
Wait, what?
maybe that child is, for lack of a better term, a bastard that doesn't want to, that they don't want known.
Maybe it's their help with his taxes.
Yeah, maybe the entirety of chaos resides within it. Maybe
Erebus.
What if the entirety of chaos resides not in him, but the amulet?
that's also possible. Maybe she coaxed a Lord of Hell into giving her good luck, and then trapped that Lord of Hell in the amulet.
Or the kid.
With the kid as a functional blood sacrifice to it.
Maybe she killed an entire nation and trapped all their souls in it.
Pretty sure you would have heard about that.
Yeah.
But maybe she's like actually
Yeah.
like ancient being,
Could be.
and like she's an ancient being we've long forgotten.
And she has
And
spent like a
that
few
amulet-
years as a
Maybe
barmaid.
she's a devil lord. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe the kid is the bar.
You say you're pretty sure we would heard of this, but again, this is like the D&D age, not necessarily all news travels. Like, we just found the new Conda base Candria. Maybe she is actually from here.
Well, technically,
And
it
there was
just
actually-
find it was just colonized because they killed a massive kraken that was destroying all major
Right,
shit.
but maybe she came from here and she actually had a nation here that she destroyed.
Yeah,
took all the souls.
That's one of the questions that you guys really haven't dove into yet. Because why is this town here?
Why is
This
that
town-
Kraken there?
This town has been here. They said that,
Technically, it's been settled for a year.
but this town is massive. They wouldn't have gotten this many people over. But they said this town was here when they got here. Empty.
Hmm.
So there's
Well,
clearly been people here before.
Yeah, well, the whole continent was my assumption that there was people there before, and we're trying to find out what happened.
Possibly still now. Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, definitely still now, but possibly the past people now. Who knows?
Yeah, I remember getting a tip from the guy at the bar about a Kraken Slayer.
Yes, whom I wrote down, Saint Talon, I believe was the person that fought the curtains. I have it written here as for the festival.
Technically, everybody fought the Kraken, but he was the one who did the killing blow and died doing it. So they made him a saint because he got them all a new continent. And he got his day celebrated like a week before you guys landed.
What a hero.
And I mean, becoming a saint in a year is pretty good. That's pretty impressive. Why aren't you questioning his luck? Huh?
Because he died.
Yeah, he
Yeah, he
wasn't
died.
too
Technically,
lucky
Who's
he
to
has
say that
lost
wasn't
many
part of his
lost
master plan?
to die.
It worked for Sephiroth.
Hey, what if he didn't die?
Wait,
what
what?
if he just wanted people to think he's dead?
I don't think anything worked for Sephiroth. He went insane.
What if
Yeah, yeah, you really look at Sephiroth's entire life as kind of a comedy of errors. Like, he went
Sephiroth-
insane, and then,
Final
like,
Fantasy VII, but nothing but Benny Hill music.
yeah, he went insane, and then, like, he tried to get Genova, and Cloud just stabbed him, and he just limped off, and Cloud attacked him again and threw him in the live stream. And they just, like, sat in a rock for, like, 20 years or something, until, like, everyone just showed up to stop him.
Also, in terms of the errors, does this also mean he's Gumshoe? Phoenix, right?
Hey, Gumshoe saved him our lives. He got a pay raise.
Gumshoe Sephiroth.
Oh, God.
Gumshoe actually gets a pay raise, and Edgeworth got taken down a peg. I hope in like, later cases I'll find out why Edgeworth feels he has to compete with me so goddamn much.
I feel like you're gonna get that answer very soon.
Yep.
It'd be nice to have Edgeworth like actually take my side more often.
He is actually going to get that answer very soon. Foreshadowing.
Yeah, not too much
Oh, well,
plot,
very
but
soon,
yeah.
totally. Yeah, sure. I have a plan for that. Yeah, I'm competent. What? So, I mean, are you guys enjoying this more RP kind of stuff, or would you rather me focus on like the actual adventure and combat?
I like a mix.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's time for us to start going into more adventure-y things, but I do like the RP stuff a lot.
let's be real though. That's not on BaronvonCreepy. That's a lot of it on us. That we're
Yeah.
like we were just presented a mission and we took like 30 minutes debating on whether to do the goddamn mission.
Yeah, we could have done like whatever we want, but we could have just like wowed in the wilderness like on our own, on the like without any like objectives at all, really.
Well, this also ties into our last one as well. We sort of got there, or got to the guild house and then stopped. We didn't have really a direction like we wanted to go, so we spent, 30 minutes at the
Yeah.
beginning trying to figure out what the to do.
Yeah.
So,
Which is part of, like I said originally, is part of the problem about running like a true open world game. Is that a lot of times it's going to be the, well, here
where
you
do we
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to leave out a part that's like, okay, we don't know exactly where we're headed next, what thing to pursue, so it's like, try and
It's
think of
also-
something on the spot.
Like I have to figure out more for my backstory so that BaronvonCreepy can pick up on that because like I want to pursue my backstory. Like
Yeah,
I have
I'm
a
like-
plan in mind, but it's all towards my backstory.
Yeah, if there's like one regret I kind of have, it's that like I made my character's goal like very like nebulous, ambiguous, you know? 'Cause it's like there's no real like final like thing he's kind of like really after, so it's like okay, I guess like I'm just gonna latch onto what I can, right?
Well, the thing with too is some backstories are super easy to work in. I mean, Charles gave me a direct rival with a name. Super
Yeah.
easy to work that in. Corin is nobility, so anything you
That's about
do
it right now, yeah.
with
I was actually about to ask you, are there any on the old continent that I could maybe make reference to, like towns, people that you may have set up already that I can just
I can give you some
tie in?
I can give you some town names and stuff through the week and stuff.
Okay, perfect.
But
Because I just want to try and make a backstory related
Yeah.
to stuff in the actual thing instead of just making something like, yep, now we gotta figure out how to tie it in.
yeah.
So
But again, now that you know the counselor, sort of, you at least acquainted with her.
yes, I
You
can find
have
something in there.
you have the potential of anything bad you do reflects to her, which reflects back to your family.
Exactly.
So that's an easy enough hook. So whether or not like anything happens, I can be like in any given session, just put that in. With something like yours, Dragonclaw, I have to like possibly work in the god talking to you and telling you why you have this debt, I guess you want to call it.
Yeah.
Or I mean, working in everybody in your squad died, right?
Yeah. Except for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't exactly work in a dead squad member, and since you were unconscious, finding the person who took him out wouldn't be the easiest thing necessarily, but maybe you find details along the road, maybe pointing towards that. But that's not something that's super easy to work in, like in any kind of immediacy.
No, that's fair.
It's something that more has to be built.
That's why I'm like working on my guy trying to build like a squad and stuff. Like
Yeah.
he's trying to make a squad of like lesser goons kind of thing that go out and do side missions for him and do tasks. And he
Yeah.
basically trains them.
It's gonna
And
be
then,
interesting as that like goes forward because like John is very against that lifestyle now.
Or like look at Ferrum. He's only 2 years old. That's really hard to have a backstory for,
Yeah.
and to work that in.
I
I mean,
got it.
but
Because my God, done.
what?
No, that's what.
Yeah. But I mean, I can work that in. Why did his god revive him? What happened to shut him down in the first place? But
ran out of liquor.
that could also have been 1,000 years ago, and then who would be alive to know that?
They just trapped him in a cave so he couldn't get the booze, and they just like held it out of his reach for like a day.
Like piecing in backstories like that is a lot harder than, again, say someone like Charles, where it's easy to just give, hey, here's a rival, cool, makes my job easier. Or again, Corin, where noble. That's just say the word noble. It's super easy to work with. Jod. Jod has a backstory, but that'll take time to work in. It's not something that can work in super quickly. I don't want to say too much about it when they're not here, I guess, or she's not here, I guess. Anywho, so even if a backstory is like, well written out and good, it doesn't necessarily make it easy to work in with any kind of immediacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Because I don't want to create something like I put all this effort into making a backstory and it's not really fits into the fantasy world that you yourself are trying to create. Which is why I keep asking, like, do you have things you can kind of give me, whether or not it's major plots or outside of that I can try and fit the character in? Just makes it a bit easier.
Well, I mean, something like that, you could say, do you have a noble family who has an issue with you? Did you maybe wrong somebody when you were a kid and you should have got arrested and punished for it, but someone else did instead of you? There's lots of like small things that could give you like grounding in the world that isn't necessarily you're from here, your family is this, you are the reason you're a noble is this. Well, that has bearing. It's not something that has, like I was saying before, an immediate kind of bearing. It's stuff that kind of stuff more plays in with RP, and again, a lot of that stuff is only going to happen when you're in the town proper, kind of thing. And your closest acquaintance, you're actually, who else? Yeah, you're the only one besides Charles, I guess, with an acquaintance actually in Iskandria proper.
That they know of.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah, anyone could be anywhere.
End up finding an old, like,
I mean,
squatter
technically you
squad
haven't
thing.
met them
Yeah.
here, but you know they exist here, so at the very least that's something. But yeah, I'll get you a little more with where you like that continent. I didn't want to focus too much on the old continent because I want to focus more on this kind of thing.
Makes sense.
But it does help for understanding your
Try
characters.
stuff in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Figure
So
out
definitely
what
hook you up.
is. Yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, like again, there's always small things you can put in to get more immediate kind of backstory inclusion.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm choosing, hey, today I'm going to do John's backstory.
Right.
Roll a dice. It's really what
Wow.
makes sense in the moment kind of thing.
Yeah. What's like the plot kind of like leaning towards in this like scenario? Like what would like feel natural in this point in time and stuff?
I'm also a little upset that none of you guys hit the perception rolls that I had you roll in town.
And mine was at a complete random. Like, you know what?
Yep.
I haven't done
There's
that before, so I decided
I
to do
don't
it.
know why you're surprised about me not hitting perception rolls.
yeah, but I was hoping at least one of you would hit the ones I wanted you to hit because I had a character and a hook lined up and everything.
Yeah, well, I guess
Play
we would
orange
take the
juice on that
bait.
You'll meet them eventually.
I've heard actually like a lot of people saying that the Roll20 rolls are actually pretty shitty.
Wait,
Like that
really?
Well, I do have an
pretty,
actual roll thing on or app on my phone. It's just you guys can't see it. That's the problem.
So roll 5d20s.
If I open RPG simple dice. That's
Done.
so do you want me to do 5d20s?
No, I was just saying I'm going to roll 5d20s on roll 20. Not great. I got 2 18s, but
Yeah.
2 6s and a 9.
I did.
Honestly, I
crap.
had like
I
a
got
50
14,
cell
10,
average.
3, and that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 50 cell feels like pretty right for 5d20.
Yeah, I mean, because the average roll is 10, 10, 10, 10.
Yeah.
Basically. 10 and a half, technically. I rolled a 50 even, so I was a little on the low end. You rolled a 57, so you're a little on the high end. Let's roll again.
Oh, I just slightly better.
Alright,
I
that
got
was way
41 this time.
higher.
Jesus, 78
Jeez.
out of 100. Mine was a super low roll.
Okay, I guess that evens out then.
Mostly, it was a 44, but 3 of the rolls were like 13s, like
Yeah.
13, 11, 12, but 2 of my rolls were 3s. So it was really just 2 bad rolls that killed it.
Yeah, if
I
anything,
mean,
these rolls are aiming kind of high. Oh, never mind. There we go.
Mine are always going low.
According to mine, here originally I had 36, and I had 41, and then I first one here on roll 20, I got 39. So my rolling, you can ask my friend, has always been shit.
Oh yeah. I used to play HeroClix, and there was a tournament, and all I needed to do was roll a single 5 on 2 d6s. I had 5 turns functionally to do it. Didn't.
Yeah, that
5
sounds about
times in a row.
right as well.
In the finals of the tournament, lost. Super salty about it for a giant Galactus figure.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you. I'd be salty as well.
It's like, I had the better team, I had the better game plan. I just couldn't roll a 5 on 2 d6s at the same time.
5d100? Jesus. 5d100.
I still want to know when we're going to have to use a D100.
That's mostly a DM dice for percentiles.
Oh, okay.
My thing is, like, I actually have a set of dice. Like, I wish I could use that because
you move to this square, and you fully want to examine this square. Well, not square, but hexagon. And in the course of it, you find, well, D100. That's what the D100's for. 28. You see a Pteranodon flying in the distance.
I believe it was the die that summoned the shark.
That is
Yes,
also
it
true.
was.
So we're calling it the shark dice from now on. Okay, fair enough. I'm good with this.
The shark centile.
Shark bait. Wow. Had to bring it
I
back.
can roll fudge.
Yeah, what is the point of that, if you don't mind me asking? Because I
To
noticed,
just
like, I'm
to
confused.
roll a dice, so they see a dice roll, kind of thing.
Oh. So it's just for the sake of.
I don't know what it's for. Maybe. Maybe I'll just look at the help and docs thing and read on it. Who knows? Acting like I know how any of this works.
I guess, like, if we have to cheat something, we could, like, roll fudge. And if they roll below our cheat, then, like, there you go.
Plus, plus, minus, 0 plus. Good roll.
Yeah, put that in a calculator, see what you get.
0.
It's just like whenever you put or divide 0, you always get errors. Like, well, if you have nothing, you can't divide it, so technically, wouldn't you still end up with 0? Think about
Yeah,
it.
but that's not how it works.
I know,
Well,
but
wait.
you can't divide nothing, so you would still have nothing. You would still have 0. So the fact it just comes up with error to me makes no sense.
Undefined.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess if you put in, like, you know, the form of, like, an equation that includes dividing by 0, then, like, that would, like, ruin the thing, wouldn't it?
the whole thing would be probably ruined. Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, because
bad math.
a fraction is something of something, and the of something is what's below the fraction. You put 0 there, it's like you say you have something of nothing.
Nothing of nothing.
Yeah.
So then, yeah. Okay.
Hmm?
I love how we just went from D&D to just talking about math.
Yeah, that's fine.
Anywho, sorry you came in at the very end of the stream, Taddy. We didn't get to see a whole lot of the game.
I should probably, like, pull up a thing to see if there's a new chat message. Wait, I forgot, I have that. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a shame, we don't have any new ones.
Recap: Corey got mentally beat down by a child multiple times. Charles saw dinosaur reading went wrong, but John learned more about the Malar Republic.
Yeah, we need to take John with us every time we have to read something.
Child pit fights.
Yep.
That's the name of the session.
Looking at the
Picking fights with child.
the 5DF, I see we got 3 pluses, a minus, and a 0, and it equals 2. So I think it's like 1, 1, negative 1, 0, 1, and that's how we end up with 2.
Potentially. I don't know. It's not something I'm gonna do. I don't plan on using those dice.
Yeah.
I think it might be a success-failure thing for games like Star Wars: Edge of the Empire, where you just roll like you have your dice only come up as success, failure, advantage, or disadvantage, and it's I failed but I have an advantage, or I succeed but I have a disadvantage. So I shot the guy, but my blaster kind of overheated, kind of thing. So I think it's for that kind of game, but I don't know.
Question is, who shot first?
Han
Me.
did.
Also, the question arises: who shot the sheriff?
Han did.
Greedo shot himself. Han actually missed the shot.
I mean, knowing Han, that's not surprising.
Greedo rolled a 1 on his attack. So the beam just came out and went right back in him.
Man, like, we actually look at that clip, it looks so doctored and, like, just fake. Where it's like they added it to, like, awkward move his head to the side. Just have him, like, just dodging, like, the edit, and it just looks so bad.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hop out, guys. It's been fun.
Yeah,
All
thanks.
right.
You guys have a
Good
great
enough.
night.
This was
And
a lot of fun.
I assume I'll see all you guys next week. Is everybody free next weekend?
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
do.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. And then we'll see how the bandit storyline goes.
And whether or not we send the kid to hell. But anyway,
All
We
right.
can
See
send
you
the
guys
bandit
are
there
out.
first and see if that helps them.
yeah, we could try that. Somebody will get me this necklace of multiple planes. I can't remember what you called it.
I don't. I gotta look it up.
Travel, I think.
Where
it
are
was,
we
wasn't
actually
it?
doing that?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, that's a very high-end magical item. It's not something you're getting anytime soon.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, that's not like an uncommon magical item. That's a,
Rare, legendary.
I think, legendary. I think it's like the highest. But the book just you know it exists.
I know
so-
legendary amulet exists, and I'm never gonna get it. GG.
I mean,
That's like
Now
my
that you know it exists.
adamantine axe.
That is true.
you can scry on items.
That is true. You can do that as well.
I mean, technically it's supposed to be a specific item, but I can't think there's too many legendary amulets of plane shifting.
Yeah. I think it'd be pretty hard to find that.
Yeah. Or at least ones that look specifically like the one in the picture. Now,
It's like,
granted,
oh, there's 20 of them on sale right now. Oh, brilliant! Some legendary.
Meanwhile, it's around the neck of the council member.
Yeah.
like every single person in the red herrings has it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also have to make the red herrings.
That's gonna be fun to come up with names for them if they're all actually lawful paladins.
They're not going to all be lawful paladins.
It
Oh,
might be evil paladins.
They could still be lawful evil. Yeah, that's an option.
What a twist. If it turns out the red herrings are actually the final bosses.
Yes.
They'll fit the
That
name
could
perfectly.
be.
And for real.
Who
It
knows, they
could
may
be.
have been on to us about the kid. That's why they put us there, because we're right next to them. So they can keep tab.
At least you know that the red herrings weren't there when what's his face showed up, when Niccolo showed up, because old guy said they left like a week ago.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about them knowing about him showing up and being like, "Where's the child?"
Yeah, I'm
Stop
actually wondering if they see that bulletin thing and notice the kid and be like, oh, okay, I'll
I mean,
take that
are you
5,000
taking him
gold.
out in public? Are you like walking him on the street with a leash like a parent now with like the kid leashes?
I was gonna say, we just put him in a sack and just carry him around. Put a couple holes in the bag so he can breathe and just walk around. Nobody will know.
Yeah,
Nobody's
bag
gonna
of
like,
holding.
look in the bag.
Yeah.
Unless you go to
Yeah.
a high-end district and they're like, we gotta check your stuff. Makes sense.
But they can't check the bag of holding unless they know what's in it.
I don't think we're gonna put him in the bag of holding because then we only have, what, 10, 15 minutes of air?
Considering he's a small creature since he's a kid, probably more than that.
Okay, 30 minutes. I don't think we can do whatever in 30 minutes. He'll probably suffocate before then.
If it's a case of sure death, if we don't, maybe, but that would be it.
Kid, get in the bag. There's candy.
my-
Jeez.
You guys
Well,
are terrible
did you say it
people.
was a white bag as well?
We've
Mhm.
concerned some serious abuse on this child. It's kinda
Yes.
nuts.
Hey, I'm rightfully allowed to since he abused the fuck out of me.
I don't think he
This-
abused you.
He mentally destroyed my character in this session.
No, the amulet mentally destroyed you.
Shut up with your logic.
Sure. Well, you don't know that. Maybe it was the kid. And maybe the kid's just so good at hiding his psychic powers.
Maybe the kid brought the shark on us. Or on
Maybe
Charles
the kid's the final
specifically.
boss.
I think that would be a great plot.
Kind of what
twist.
I expected
Okay,
actually from this was that he would be the final boss. Just it makes sense. Then
I
we
think
summon the final boss too
session-
early.
I think session 1 is a little too early to introduce the final boss.
You just take the
You never know.
necklace
Yeah.
off and it just starts blasting
I guess
War
it
of the
depends
Souls
on the game.
Departed from
It's kind of like those
effing-
games, like those RPGs where they have the final boss with you, but like you don't actually do anything because you're like you don't actually realize it or whatever, and then when by the time you finally realize that you've already gone through all the adventures and you're like, oh, you're actually the enemy, and they're like, "Oh, I really am. I didn't even know."
Or they set you up at the beginning.
Like the or even like a high end enemy, like the Cecil and Kain from Final Fantasy IV. Or whatever.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Like where Kain gets mind controlled often and stuff, and like he's not actually the villain, but he ends up being a villain because of the mind
Yeah, and then
control.
even when he gets back, he's still like got separate motives and was like separate from you for a while.
Yeah.
I haven't played 4 in forever. Been a while.
Yeah. After 4 being a pretty good game.
Reminds me that me and Baron have to do a race again on that.
The amulet comes off. At last I am free. Now to ruin this entire world, but I'll spare the wizard. He makes me laugh.
He's like, I'll kill everyone except the
there's a
person who
devil
took the
who's in
amulet
there.
off.
He'll reward you for letting him out.
Yeah.
He rewards us with death.
Gotta,
mean,
like, free that
devils are
demon so
lawful.
you can,
think of it this way. If he's going to reward us with death, he'll give everybody a slow and painful one. He'll give us a quick and painless one. That's our reward. We still die, but not painful.
Yeah, gotta, like,
You guys
free that
give me your
demon so
soul,
they can
since
give you,
you
like,
guys
money
worked
and
out,
power.
I'll give you $1 each.
He just gives us effing, like...
It's not even a currency in this land.
Exactly.
He got it from the dimension he's been cursed in this stupid amulet.
He gives us Corin's lunch money.
Oh, Peoria, Illinois.
Gives everybody a one loony, and you're just like, what is this? I don't expect the Americans to know what I mean by that.
I feel like I kind of know from context.
Oh, yeah, loony is a $1 coin, a toonie is a $2 coin. Because you guys use bills, we use coins.
Is that the one with, like, the moose on it, or, like, a horse or something? I think I heard something about that.
Moose is a nickel. No, moose is the quarter, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Moose is the quarter, nickel is the beaver, loon is on the loony, polar bear is on the toonie.
Okay, yeah.
Dime is a boat, but I can't remember the boat.
Man, I wish our currency just had, like, just sick, like, animals on, you know? Like, we have an eagle and we have, like, a bunch of historical figures.
Over a gap.
Yeah.
Don't worry, the Canadians will never know.
Actually, well, I think I'd rather stay here than learn that, because at least then we don't have to deal with a certain someone, considering death is still streamed, and I don't want to say it. Even though it's pretty obvious who I'm referencing.
Not Tony Hawk, I hope.
No.
He's a cool dude.
I'm not referencing Tony Hawk.
Good.
Although it does still start with the letter T.
A blue nose schooner on the dime. It's the type of boat.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
A schooner, by the way.
Schooner? My bad.
Yeah.
Just said SCH, so I thought that was schooner.
Awful lot of water in the middle of that world map.
More of a I should probably give you guys an idea of the scale of this.
Oh, yeah.
Going just in a straight line, you'll be able to probably cross two of the hexes in a day. To fully explore a hex, it'll take a full day.
Oh, alright.
Like, if you want to go, let me look through these hills and see what I can find in this, like, hex right here, that'll take a day. But if you want to go, I want to go from here to here, you're like, oh, that'll just take a day and a half. And yes, it's going to be feet because that's how the map works. Also, got to find a way to get the stupid grid off the map because it ruins the hexes.
That's fine.
It makes it look ugly. I mean, not that this was one of the maps I made with the free software, as opposed to the cool, fancy, expensive one I have now.
Which is the one with the house.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking.
Yeah, more materials. The maps just look better. I can actually get it the background to look like parchment instead of so it's an actual map kind of thing, which is kind of cool. Though it's more for a handout kind of thing instead of a map proper. But I gotta play with it. I just did that so I could make the stupid house. Unless you guys wanted to live in an orc camp. That was the only thing that I had for a free city up here.
Yeah. Well, if nothing else, we can't be murder hobos because we have a house.
You can be evicted.
But
That's
until we
enough.
are.
We'll worry about that when we get to it.
Every murder hobo's got to start somewhere.
Every murder hobo has to start homed, and then they become homeless.
And then they
Start
go on
from the
murderous
top over
rampages.
here.
They're pissed off they got evicted. So they go after the person that evicted them and kill them.
I kind of feel that we've got maybe a C at best at murder hoboism since we've done two sessions without killing something.
No, I mean, the first instinct of Dragonclaw was, we're rats, murder.
I've been true to like wanting to fight anything. It's just I keep getting told not to.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
the next
our
thing
group's
To be
too
fair, though,
heroic.
wanting to fight is different from immediately charging at something.
Like, whenever we go into, like, a conflict, it's like most of the group is just like, hey, let's not fight the thing.
Nope, I'm all
Which-
about fighting.
Which again is while I like this milestone thing, it's part of the detriment of it is that it encourages not fighting so much because there's no benefit to fighting right now.
Yeah.
That's why,
Well,
that's why
except
you
for
need a character
loot.
like me to fight, because I'll
I
do it anyway.
mean, you can maybe get a few more items if you kill the guy and take what's on him than you would if you asked him
you
to
get
stop.
more out of it otherwise with information if you don't kill them.
Yeah.
Which
If
is
you
how I'm
see...
looking. Like, I'd rather have the information than
Yeah.
what he made, like a sword he might have.
Yeah.
But as opposed to experience where it focuses more on combat, which is why offered you guys the experience systems at the beginning, because I know like this could definitely arise, because if you get functionally the same experience amount from not fighting and not risking death as opposed to possibly dying, the
Well-
question is why,
Yeah.
There's still risk involved in sparing our foes.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
They could
Yeah.
hate
That
you and
works.
get revenge. The
Betray you.
risks are a little longer term, potentially. Or now the captain knows that the kid's alive. And maybe
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
you
didn't
know.
we agree that we were gonna turn him in, but we still didn't?
totally.
There's a
It
character I
happened
made
so
once
fast.
at
So
some
who knows?
point.
He might go back to shit. I've already forgotten the name.
Malai.
Yeah, he might go and talk to Taiki.
Yes, Taiki. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hell,
Since
he
she
might-
did ask.
He might have hid a sending stone on the ship and sent a message using that immediately after you left. And you just trusted him when he told you everything he handed you.
Yeah. Plot twist: the captain's the
Yeah.
final boss.
There's like a character I
The
made.
shark is the whole boss. The shark.
One.
It's a land shark.
He just takes that little chunk of Baron flesh or Charles flesh down to his lab below the sea and uses that to clone himself legs.
And probably breathing on land.
And
Would
makes him the ultimate life form. Lake shark.
All he needs to do
Being
is now
new
go
to
get a bird,
science.
and he can fly too.
Yeah.
Ultimate creature can do all three: swim.
Now he's just waiting on a seagull to, yeah.
It's the ultimate life form. It can do everything all other life forms are capable of.
He's a Mazo from DC Comics.
He becomes effing cars.
I was tempted to mention to the Archdruid that about the shark attack, and then you allowed a shark to gather druid flesh.
You taught him druid language by your flesh? I mean, he's a shark. He's intelligent. He can't learn language. Doesn't matter.
Plot twist: the druid leader's the final boss.
The mushroom house is the final boss.
He just becomes the shark.
That steak, you didn't, because your nature was really low, and your perception wasn't quite high enough, you didn't notice that Stegosaurus had really shifty eyes.
Yeah. Like, druids can shapeshift. We don't know he wasn't the shark.
Eyes of the entire continent.
Yeah, you don't know that Stegosaurus wasn't a druid either.
Right. But I think you guys probably know what went through my mind when I saw it.
Frostbite?
Yes.
No. Assuming I live long enough, I can eventually become one.
Yeah.
I don't know in your circle if you can get a high enough challenge rating
Right.
to shift into them. I think you can get up to 2 unless you're Circle of the Moon or whatever the
Yeah, I
transformation
forgot that
is.
was a thing. That's like
Yeah, I'm
Circle of the
pretty sure
Moons get higher
moons
levels.
can. I just didn't know if perhaps the Stegosaurus might be a little lower than some other dinosaurs on challenge rating.
Let's see. D&D Beyond. Looking up some monsters and D&D Beyond. I'm not even sponsored, but I'm singing this damn song. Yeah. Dinosaur.
Also, sorry to derail the interesting conversation, but even though we're now done, should I obviously still keep my hit points at 14? Or should I do the long last that we're done and go right back to 20?
It's about 6:30, 7 o'clock when you guys get back. I assume you spend the rest of the night telling Jod and Ferrum the plan of, hey, we're going to do this mission. You better be ready in the morning.
Okay, so then I'll go back to 20 then. Okay. Just
Yep.
wanted to make sure.
Yeah, go ahead and hit that long rest button. Yeah, Stegosaurus is challenge rating 2.
So it's gonna be a while, but you can do
Sorry,
it
challenge rating
probably.
4. He's not challenge rating 2, was what I was trying to say.
Oh.
Sorry. Velociraptor, challenge rating 1/4.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should just pick one of those and just kill everything.
So
Yeah.
Velociraptors aren't like particularly great. They only have 10 HP.
You know, you
Oh.
might not be able to wild shape. There's always
He's
polymorph.
He's the size of a large turkey. Turkeys are pretty big, though.
Yes.
It's more like a Microraptor, though.
At that point, I wouldn't care how big the thing is, knowing the fact that it's completely lethal and
Now,
all.
you know what is challenge rating 2 and is also a dinosaur?
Don't say T-Rex.
Allosaurus.
Really?
Which is even stronger than a T-Rex. I think.
Waiting to
Yeah.
hear the.
I think T-Rexes are bigger.
He's got an ability called Pounce that knocks people down if he moves 30 feet before attacking. He's got a 60-foot movement speed.
Yeah,
He's
like
got a +6 to hit for 2d10 +4 piercing damage with his bite.
yeah,
And he's
like
also got a claw attack too.
mm,
Which, why would you do that? Because that does less damage.
Just bite
yeah.
everything.
And he doesn't have multi-attack, so it's not like you can do both.
Yeah, like Tyrannosaurs are
Well,
effing
person.
nuts.
So
Oh,
what?
that's right. I probably should wild shape at some point.
Yeah, I was wondering when you're actually going to do that. Tyrannosaurus and Tyrannosaurus Zombie are both challenge rating 8, by the way.
Yep.
Wait, why is
Sounds
zombie
about
first?
right.
What the hell?
I don't know. It's a creature in well, it's technically in one of the module books, so I don't have access to it. But it's a creature that's listed. The big one.
Spinosaurus is
Bronto.
probably in there too.
Brontosaurus is CR5, but Brontosauruses are busted, man. You can actually shift into a Brontosaurus as a Circle of the Moon Druid. They have 121 hit points. They're gargantuan beasts.
Mm-hmm.
Their stomp has a 20-foot reach and is a +8 to hit for 27 damage.
Ouch.
And their tail also hits 20 feet. And that does 32 damage.
I find that interesting. That's more detrimental to you to get hit by the tail than just to be outright fucking squashed.
Well, the stomp also knocks you prone unless you succeed a saving throw.
Yeah, that's pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to think you could have that much HP on top of your normal druid HP.
And I'm sitting here looking at my fireball going, God damn.
Yeah, that's like 2 maxed out fireballs and he still has an HP left.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I always wanted to do a Circle of the Moon transformation druid. That seems like a lot of fun. The Spellslinger kinds are really cool too, but just the concept of changing form is...
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually someday I might try one, but I think land would be more useful for this party, as we have some tough guys already.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd
That's
like
right,
ran
right.
Which is totally
circle
fair.
of the.
Because yeah, you have
Mm.
three tanks. There's 3 level 3 people with more than 30 HP. That's
There's
nuts.
really squishy at the back.
All right, guys, I gotta head off here.
Oh yeah.
The game.
Thanks for playing, man.
Yeah.
Hope you had fun.
Yeah, I did. We'll see you guys again.
See ya.
Yep. See you next week.
Later, guys.
Later.
You know.
Good night.
Have a good night, guys. Thanks again.
Good night.
Mm.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for playing.
No
I
problem.
was gonna say thanks you guys, and I kept screwing up.
Thank you so much for
English
playing my
hard.
game.
Congratulations. Sorry. Congratulations. You have completed a great game and have proved the justice of your culture.
Anyway.
That's the Ghostbusters NES ending.
Oh.
That's the ending text from that.
It's like AVGN with the whole what was it, Big Rigs? You're a winner.
Yeah.
I believe Excitebike said a winner is you. Or, wait, was it that game?
Yeah, when are we getting that high definition Excitebike reload or reboot for the new generation?
Well, we got Windjammer, so it's probably not far off.
Hey, it wouldn't be so bad, except you damn well know they're gonna flood it with microtransactions.
I
You
know
wanna
the
turn
wind.
the mic on? Microtransaction.
I know, like the new Windjammer seems pretty good.
In a world where man and dirt bike have become one on an emotional level, there is only Excitebike.
So it's
Excite
hard.
motherfucking bike. Doesn't look like metal music plays. But after that, it goes straight back to the 8-bit graphics, and nothing's changed. just a really high-end, like, millions of dollars CG intro trailer for Excitebike. And they just call it the remake.
There's just about the bomb that says DLC, and it's like 8 new colors.
Bikes DLC. Excite DLC.
It's making me think of, even though I think I'm the only one here that really plays racing games, but I don't know. Does anybody know Top Gear for SNES?
Played it before, but not, like, frequently.
They actually made a reboot, or a company did basically a spiritual successor. I don't know if you've heard of the game Horizon Chase Turbo. Probably not.
No.
But basically it's that, but all modernized. So, really good game. They actually have a retro mode to it that you can unlock, and it basically makes the game unplayable. It's really stupid. So couldn't help but think of that when you guys were mentioning the whole retro thing. It's like, oh yeah, all this CG, and then the game's exactly the same. So, yeah, whether or not I...
Except every, like, time you get in a screen, like, further on the screen in Excitebike Remake, there will be a all-present voice on the microphone, on the, like, your in-helmet microphone, like, hey, if you go for the little dashy lines on the ground, you'll get a speed boost, and then you'll be able to overtake your rivals. Like your Otacon, your
Oh, yeah.
advice giving, your what's your face from Resident Evil 4?
Hannigan.
Yeah, Hannigan.
Or the annoying fairy from Zelda.
Yeah.
It's the first thing that comes to mind all the time.
Sequelitis. It's got the perfect video for that. By Ego Raptor.
Of course, it would be around.
Yeah.
For, like, which video?
Oh, it was on the Mega Man series.
Oh, the Mega Man X one?
Yeah, that one's
Yeah.
good.
Because Mega Man kicks ass. He goes, oh, Mega Man, look out, you can fall.
Mega Man X has, like, my favorite moment in gaming. I love it.
Is it riding on cars?
No, it's when Mega Man gets captured and then just the text Vile's taunting you and the text box fades, and then you just hear the charge up beam from Zero, and then
Yeah.
just happens, and he comes in and slashes him. Holy shit, that was cool. That was like the next gen moment on the
Yeah.
like, this is a new Mega Man.
Yeah, it's like
Once
a
that
big
ends,
part
it's
of the video where he's like, oh yeah, like this is the character you want your character to be, and like you get there throughout the game.
Thing is, wasn't that the only one that? Again, I don't follow Mega Man, or never really did, but I did play that one because my brother did have it. But isn't that the only game Zero makes an appearance in?
No,
Zero's
he's in like
pretty
all
much
the
all
X
the X
games. And like
Oh,
the
I mean,
Power Fighters.
He's technically dead in half of them, and half, you're trying to find him, but
Yeah. Because
he
like
ends up
Zero's
showing up or becoming playable, and he's got his own like side franchise. He's not in any
Yeah.
of the classic like Mega Man games, but any of the X games, he's pretty
Like,
much.
he is in the
vital.
Power Fighters, which takes place in the classic timeline, because like Zero's a Wily bot.
Is that even canon? I don't think it's canon though.
No, that's canon, because like Wily created the Sigma virus. I think it's
Also,
like a
was there a
mutation of
Death
like
Street
Robo Windsor or
spoilers?
something.
Yeah, Wily did create Zero, and
Where does Rockman Soccer fit into the timeline?
No idea. It fits in the trash. I don't even know if it's good or not.
What about Mega Man Dancing All Stars?
Is that even a thing?
No, but it could be.
I know
Hey,
the
there were
Persona
Persona.
Dancing All Night games are canon. Like the Persona Dancing spin-offs. They're all canon.
hey, if Sonic gets in a race car in a video game, nothing is out of the realm of possibility now.
Yeah.
How can I go faster? By slowing down in a car.
Like, there's like one good point to that, and it's that Sonic is a good sport, and if he ran, it'd be cheating.
Fair point.
Alternatively, if Akira from Virtual Fighter punched him, he wouldn't win the race anyway. So I mean, they're all just. It's like Mario, Golf or
Yeah.
Mario Party. They're all agreeing to not use their abilities.
Like, the weirdest one is like Sonic Riders, where like Jet beats Sonic in a race just because he has a hoverboard. And that's why everyone's using hoverboards now.
Well, to be fair, Sonic can't fly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Unless he's Supersonic, and then he can, but yeah. Oh god, we're arguing over Sonic facts now.
I really
Damn it,
don't-
Knuckles. I blame Knuckles.
You
Always
can
Knuckles. And
you
Knuckles,
can never
Knuckles.
blame Knuckles. He don't chuckle.
Everything is Knuckles' fault.
I can't have
Nipples the
Samus-
He
Enchilada.
does chuckle. Your first introduction to Knuckles is him chuckling.
Yeah. It's so good.
And
I
the next
love
game he's
dumb
in is a
Sonic
song about him not
memes.
chuckling.
What?
Oh, and then the next game he's in, there's a song about him not chuckling.
Yeah. Well, he's in 3 and Knuckles. But yeah, you're talking about Adventure. Yeah.
Yes.
Was he in Sonic R on the Saturn?
I believe he was.
And I know he was in Knuckles Chaotix too. For the 32X, the ultimate gaming console.
Man, it's so weird that like Sonic Boom just made his body like a triangle. And it's like done. This is Knuckles
Well,
now.
Triangles are pretty aerodynamic, right? You
Yeah.
gotta be able to fly.
Hey, just ask Star Fox. He'll know if they're
Yeah.
very aerodynamic.
Yeah, the R ones are literally just flying triangles.
Yeah, but they're pulling in
I'm
the
trying
R
to
direction.
Also, ask a lot of the people in Star Wars. Everything's a fucking giant triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, also pulling in the R direction.
So yeah, Sonic Boom had it right with their Knuckles redesign, totally. Except for the bandages for everybody. They all got beat up by like their bully before the game, apparently.
Yeah, that was weird. Sonic Boom TV show is pretty solid though. There's some good moments that came out of that.
It apparently is super memey, and that's kind of nice. But I'm not gonna watch the show, bro.
So there's an episode where like
But I've got
Sonic
quality
is
memes
just
so I'm
yeah,
happy.
Sonic has like food ordered and it takes too long. And he's like, "Oh, I'd do this in like 2 minutes or less." And he just gets a job and becomes like the mascot. And Eggman's like entire plan is like, "I'm going to order food and make Sonic's delivery late just to spite him."
And
It's
then I'll have
great.
free pizza.
Oh man.
Oh, it has been a night. Well, gonna log off for real, folks.
Yeah, same.
Same. I'm probably gonna go play some games and then go to sleep.
Alright, see you around.
Take it easy,
This
guys.
is
Okay.
at like 2 hours onto the stream, like legit.
Yeah,
Just 2 hours of just bullshitting. Yeah.
makes sense.
Alright. Later.
Later, guys.
Later.
Have a good night.